not intently, but I have been following the case. And what really struck me about the clip that you played is what they described is Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is a mental illness. And then they say there was no mental illness at all in the trial. So the prosecutor's theory was Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So I don't know if the defense considered that or not, but I certainly would have.
Me too.
You too, yeah. Just mental illness was not on the table, they said, and so that is a form of mental illness, you believe, Dwane?
Oh, absolutely it is. I mean, it's a diagnosis that you can get.
And it fits the facts, doesn't it, Dwane? I mean, when you look at it, I mean, if she's in fact guilty, which the jury said she is, it sounds like a Munchausen's case.
It is. You know, it's where the mom is making her kid sick so that she can get attention and people will feel sorry for her. I mean, that's Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and it happens more than people would like to think it does.
And what do you make of all these mothers in the last decade, as I said before, killing their children? I mean, we had Andrea Yates, the most notorious one, Susan Smith. What's your take on all these moms killing their kids, Dwane?
Well, I think that, I was a communications major, my undergraduate, and it's what's called a heuristic. Just because we're hearing about it more doesn't mean that it's happening more. I think it's probably happening about the same as it always has happened. It's just that, we live in a 24-hour news cycle now where, it's the kind of thing that, it used to be if somebody killed their kid in Chicago, you wouldn't hear about it in L.A. But now, everything's national news. So I don't know that it's happening more. I think it's just, I think it is, it's just, the news cycle, you got to feed the beast, man. You got to keep feeding the beast.
And your thoughts?
Well, I could see that also, and we also had Diane Downs, and we also had Casey Anthony. I mean, and I do think that oftentimes in these cases, that you do have women that are diagnosed. I mean, women that, Andrea Yates pled insanity. Remember, I think Susan Smith did. Diane Downs didn't, but she completely denied the crime. And then Casey Anthony, of course, pled not guilty and was acquitted, but it's clear she had some real issues. I mean, real issues. And so, I still don't think that mothers kill their kids unless they've got some kind of a mental issue. I agree with the jurors that have kind of meted out verdicts that reflect that view. It's just against nature. I mean, that a mother would kill their own child. And I think that's why those cases fascinate us. I mean, is that you don't, there are other cases out there that are not as notorious, but the Andrea Yates case especially, I mean, killing child after child in the bathtub, and her husband supported her, and then she goes in and pleads insanity. I mean, that's amazing, when you look at something like that she could have done what she did. And I think it's so hard for us to imagine as a society that mothers can kill their kids unless there's something, mentally deficient or they have mental illness, that would qualify as a defense.
Well, and I think that basically, that qualifies as a defense. I mean, I think everybody that kills somebody has some sort of mental illness going. The normal, sane people don't kill people, generally speaking. Unless you add drugs and alcohol. Yeah, that's true. Well, I think you add drugs and alcohol, and you can get there.
Yeah, he had meth and alcohol, I think.
Yeah.